Hey guys, this is Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we're back with another Michigan recruiting report here exclusively on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, get notifications every time we drop a new video. So tonight we're going to be talking about 5 recruits that Michigan is trending up with. So let's go ahead and start off with our first recruit, and that is on 300 offensive lineman Hardy Watts. Michigan has been trending well in this recruitment for a while, and I think they've taken the lead here during official visit season. Now, he hasn't been to campus yet. He did have a great visit with Clemson, but you see Michigan is at the top of the on-3 recruiting prediction machine. I think the Wolverines can potentially close when they get him on campus for Victor's Weekend on June 21st. Watts is an athletic interior offensive lineman that has the ability to flex out to right tackle, but I really like him on the interior as a guard. He has great feet. He has great pass pro for an interior offensive lineman. Getting his strength better and getting him to play more physically will be something that Michigan does if he does land in Ann Arbor. But overall, there's a lot to like about what Hardy Watts brings to the table. We are watching Clemson closely. Like I said, they had a strong visit, but Michigan in that top spot on the RPM and trending nicely heading into Victor's Weekend later this month. All right, let's go ahead and head off to our next target, and that is 3-star running back Jasper Parker out of Louisiana. So, Michigan's running back board has been interesting. They've had a couple of guys on campus already. Jasper Parker set to make his OV on June 14th, and Michigan has the lead on the on-3 recruiting prediction machine. He was on campus in the spring for an unofficial visit, and this is a kid that's bonded really well with new running backs coach Tony Alford. No question Michigan would take him. He is ranked kind of low here, but he is a prospect that Michigan values more than the services. Michigan also has a tie here as wide receivers coach Ron Bellamy is a Louisiana native and actually attended the same high school, Archbishop Shaw, as Parker. So I think Michigan is right up there, if not in the lead in this recruitment. Oklahoma State is one to watch. North Carolina, which just had him on campus for a visit, is another school to watch. Auburn's still in the mix, but I think Michigan has done a great job of recruiting Parker. The relationships with Alford and Bellamy could push the Wolverines over the edge when he makes his OV. Let's flip over to the defensive side of the ball and talk about 4-star defensive lineman Maxwell Roy out of Philadelphia powerhouse St. Joe Prep. Now, Maxwell Roy is a prospect that I've been really high on for a couple of years. I actually had a chance to see him live as an underclassman at the Under Armour camp in New Jersey. And then I saw him again this past season when St. Joe Prep played against IMG Academy. Now, IMG Academy's offensive line is full of Division I prospects, and Maxwell Roy was terrific in that game. It was a low-scoring affair, and Roy showed off his power, his athleticism in the trenches. He's a guy that I would liken to Chris Jenkins, former Michigan defensive lineman. That versatility, the frame, the athleticism, all kind of check the boxes similar to Jenkins. So I think Roy would be valuable as a 4-eye. He could play the 3. You could put him at nose if you really needed him to. I think there's just a lot to like about his game. Now, Michigan had him on campus for an unofficial visit this week. They're bringing him back on campus for an official visit on June 21st for Victor's Weekend. The Wolverines now have the heavy lead on the on-3 recruiting prediction machine with a 95.5% chance of landing him. I put in a prediction for Michigan. I feel good about the Wolverines' chances here. I think he would be a great addition to a defensive line class that already has top 100 prospect Nate Marshall committed. Let's stick kind of on the defensive line here and talk about 4-star edge Jalen Williams out of Chicagoland. So Jalen Williams is another prospect that I've been high on for a while. I had a chance to see him in game last fall, and I thought he was super impressive. He's a perfect fit for that bigger edge spot. So, kind of similar in frame to some of the guys of the past, like Mike Morris or Aiden Hutchinson. He would play that type of role. He's listed at 6'5", 238, but I think on threes, underestimating his weight. He's added a lot of good weight, so that's why I'm saying he'd be more of a bigger edge, even though he's listed as a defensive lineman. Michigan's been the leader for a long time. I put a prediction back in November. Obviously, there was some staff movement this offseason. Mike Elston heading to the NFL with Jim Harbaugh, Greg Scruggs being dismissed. So Lou Esposito had to play catch up here and just locked in Williams for an official visit, which he'll be taking this weekend. But I think Michigan has momentum back on its side. I like where my prediction stands with Williams. I think you could easily see him in the class. All right, and the last recruit we will talk about today is Kainoa Winston. So Michigan has the lead for all the guys we've talked about on the RPM. They don't have it for Kainoa Winston. They're still third on the RPM, but I disagree. I think Michigan is in a great spot coming out of the official visit. I think Michigan might even be on top coming out of the official visit. Penn State is still a team to watch for. They get him on campus for an official visit this weekend. A lot's going to come down to his experience in Happy Valley. But Michigan absolutely hit a home run on the OV. They checked all the boxes for him, from academics, which is actually a thing for Kainoa Winston's recruitment. He goes to a rigorous high school in D.C. and Gonzaga. They check the boxes from a development standpoint and fit standpoint. I mean, he's the perfect guy for the nickel spot. They like, what he brings to the table and see him fitting into that Mike Sainristil role. And just the culture aspect was really big for him. He meshed really well with the players on campus. Zeke Berry was his player host, and they became friends. And Evan Link, his former teammate, was involved during his visit. And if you remember, if you follow Michigan recruiting, Evan Link was considered a heavy Penn State lean before he ultimately picked Michigan. Could go the same way with Kainoa Winston. I've talked about him here on our YouTube channel. I think he's an extremely fun player to watch. He's undersized, but he plays with so much physicality, has elite closing speed, just an absolute ball hawk on the back end that can play so many different positions. So he would be a fantastic land. I think Michigan is starting to trend upwards with him as well. All right, guys, so that's 5 recruits Michigan is trending up with here during official visit season. For more on official visits and everything Michigan recruiting, head over to thewolverine.com. Subscribe today. Use the promo code UM1. That gets you $1 for 2 months. Again, that's promo code UM1. $1 for 2 months at thewolverine.com for exclusive Michigan recruiting information. Also, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for free.